BTC USD technical analysis. Currently trading at $77,972, the market shows bearish bias with RSI at 64.29, indicating weakening momentum. The trend remains bearish as the 50-day moving average sits below the 200-day, with price down 25% year-to-date from the 52-week high of $124,752. Let's examine the critical support and resistance levels defining this downtrend. On the weekly chart, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, well below key resistance at the 50 MA near 96,264. Immediate support sits at 60,212. The 200 MA price remains compressed between these levels, suggesting consolidation before the next directional move. Looking at the weekly time frame, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, above the 20 MA at 77,031 and 200 MA at 60,212, but critically below the 50 MA at 96,264. This mixed alignment suggests weakening momentum after the recent pullback from higher levels. Looking at the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is trading at 77,972, hovering right at the middle band of 77,031. The wide range between the upper band at 96,682 and lower band at 57,380 signals elevated volatility, with price currently neutral and consolidating. Looking at the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is trading at 77,972 with RSI at 46.61, sitting in neutral territory below the midpoint. This shows weakening momentum after recent pullbacks, suggesting consolidation may continue before the next directional move emerges. Looking at the weekly time frame, Bitcoin at 77,972. MACD line, negative 6,995, sits above signal line, negative 8,149, with histogram positive 1,453 showing bullish divergence. This potential bullish crossover suggests weakening downside momentum, indicating possible trend reversal ahead. On the daily chart, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, testing resistance near 79,680. Key support sits at 71,162, with downside protection at 68,466. A break above resistance signals bullish continuation, while rejection could trigger pullback to support levels. Looking at the daily time frame, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, above both the 20 MA at 74,073 and 50 MA at 71,162, but remains below the critical 200 MA at 85,425. This mixed alignment suggests short-term strength within a broader corrective phase. Looking at the daily time frame, Bitcoin is trading at 77,972. Hovering near the upper Bollinger Band at 79,680, well above the middle band at 74,073. This positioning suggests strong bullish momentum, though price is approaching overbought territory with potential resistance ahead. Looking at the daily time frame, Bitcoin is trading at 77,972 with RSI at 64.29, showing strong bullish momentum but still below the overbought threshold of 70. This suggests room for further upside before reaching overextended conditions, maintaining a constructive outlook for continued gains. Looking at the daily time frame, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, with MACD at 2090 crossing above the signal line at 1,704. The histogram shows positive momentum at 385, indicating strengthening bullish pressure as the divergence widens, suggesting continued upside potential. On the 1-hour chart, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, sandwiched between lower band support at 77,456 and resistance at 78,524. A break below 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 77,456 could test the 200 MA at 76,435 while clearing 78,524 signals bullish momentum resumption. On the 1-hour chart, Bitcoin trades at 77,972, just below the 20 MA at 77,991 and the 50 MA at 78,164, but remains above the 200 MA at 76,435. This shows short-term weakness within an intact longer-term uptrend, suggesting consolidation before potential continuation. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, Bitcoin is trading at 77,972, just below the middle band at 77,991. Price sits well within the bands with upper resistance at 78,525 and lower support at 77,457. The relatively tight bandwidth suggests consolidation, indicating a potential breakout move is approaching soon. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, Bitcoin is trading at 77,972 with RSI at 49.9, sitting in neutral territory. This indicates balanced momentum with no overbought or oversold conditions present. The market shows no clear directional bias, suggesting consolidation or potential range-bound trading ahead. Looking at the 1-hour timeframe, Bitcoin at 77,972, MACD line at 8.54 crossed above the signal line at -1104, with histograms surging to 19.57. This bullish crossover signals strengthening upward momentum in the short term. Look for buy opportunities near 71,162 dots, DARG at 79,068 the channel for profit taking. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for daily Bitcoin, technical analysis and trading setups.